I'm joined by University of Central Oklahoma center Kellen Culberson. Kellen, thank you for taking time this afternoon to come on and talk to me. Could you start by telling the viewers and listeners a little bit about yourself?
My name's Kellen Culberson. I'm from Lake Dallas, Texas. I went to Lake Dallas High School. If you heard of Denton Guy or Denton Ryan, we're all in the same area, North Texas, North Dallas. Went to SFA for the last 2 years and transferred here this summer, really. Then been here for about a month.
Now I've asked your teammate Jalik Lewis this question because high school football in Texas it's just different. So like, could you describe for us Oklahoma people what a high school football in Texas is like?
It's crazy. Like, I went to the Duncanville games, North Shore games every year really so far, and I just remember the only game I didn't go to was when the Hail Mary passed, and I remember where I was whenever that Hail Mary passed. I was like, oh my goodness, like he really just caught that. But it's different down there. It's like the whole Cowboys arena is full, everybody going crazy. Then it's like in Denton, it's Denton Guyer versus Denton Ryan. So the whole city going to Denton Ryan versus Denton Guyer game, and that's crazy. But I played Jalik in high school. We played each other. So every time I see him, we be talking about Denison, Lake Dallas. But I'm like 1-2 against him every time. The one when he moved there, he beat me. So he be talking about he's 1-0 against me, but I don't know about all that.
Yeah. Oh man, that's great. Okay. Now, playing high school football in Texas, I feel like it has a different meaning. Like there's got to be some sense of pride in that. And then for you, I believe you were like a 3-year starter. So right. Like, what does that kind of mean to be like a high level football player in that state?
Oh, it means a lot. Like you feel like an all-star because everybody know you. You on a Sunday, like you can be in the newspaper. Like you wake up and like, oh, like that's me right there. Then everybody know you going to Walmart and it's all like, hey, I seen you in the newspaper this morning. Like it's crazy. Like, and then you'll be all over the news and you'll see yourself on the news. Like I played on TV too once. Like it's crazy up there down there.
And now I've asked this to several guys that play both ways. I believe you also played defensive tackle. So I would have to ask, which do you prefer? Do you prefer blocking for touchdowns or stopping touchdowns?
I mean, I like scoring. It feels good to score on somebody. I ain't gonna lie. Like I got used to scoring on people now. I ain't really played too much defense in high school. I played like maybe a down or two, but I like it playing offense more.
Yeah, sure. And as a center, that was that a position that you've played your whole football career, or was that something that you kind of grew into?
It's gonna be my 5th year playing center. I started whenever I was a sophomore in high school, so I kind of picked it up kind of fast. It was like going in my sophomore year as I was a freshman. And they were like, try to snap it because the center got hurt. He got like a concussion or something. Snapped it one time, and then next thing you know, I'm playing center the rest of my high school career. So I was like, okay, guess I'm not playing defense now.
So what was that adjustment period like, growing into that center position?
It was different. Like just snapping the ball, then someone coming right at you. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of crazy going from defense to offense, then just learning the steps and going backward, like snapping the ball. Because I used to have a problem on pass setting, like snapping the ball and then going backwards. I ain't like going backwards. If someone's coming right at you, it's like I ain't gonna let nobody just go right at me. But it was a little different at first. But then I got used to it over the years, and yeah, I had a good offensive line coach in high school. Spencer Leftwich, you coached at UTEP before coming down to Lake Dallas. So,
and what would you say is probably the hardest part of playing center?
Just being like everybody being close on you, like everything is right on you playing center. You know what I'm saying? And like, just everybody knows also whenever you mess up. If you have a bad snap, everybody knows in the stands. And once you hear that, in the stands, you know something went behind you. So it's just, I say that, just having that little pressure, but it's not bad after you get used to it and doing it over and over again all summer, just getting snaps.
And that bond that you have to have with your quarterback, like how is that? How important is that? And how do you kind of go about building that center quarterback relationship?
Right. I feel like it's pretty important, including whenever you get to the under center stuff. That exchange is like crucial. So back at SFA, I had a quarterback who was taller than me. So he used to be like, hey, I got to get down there a little bit. So we used to spend a lot of extra time just getting under center snaps and just building those relationships. But now, just being here with the guys for just this month, I'm just still growing on those relationships with everybody. Steph's funny, man. I'm always laughing at Steph during practice or before practice. He's always dancing around doing something. So just those relationships are really important and crucial.
And so throughout, wait, now out of high school, you signed with Stephen F. Austin. So what was it about Stephen F. Austin through that recruiting process that made you decide to sign with him?
It was really the coach. The coach, I did like 3 or 4 camps, and Coach Nathan Young, he's at Louisiana Tech now. Me and him just had a good bond, and he had to trust in me. I'm a little shorter guy. I'm like 6 foot. So offensive lineman at 6 foot, not many people going to take a chance on me like that. So, he took a chance on me, and I had a good experience going down there and learning what I learned in my 2 years down there. And it's a good environment down there in Nacogdoches. It might be in the middle of nowhere, but it's still fun. And the guys down there, you always see them. So you got to be close to your teammates down there.
Now, I believe you signed in 2020, which means you would have played during the pandemic season. Now, most of your teammates at UC, outside of a handful like Steph, didn't play. So what was that experience like playing football in 2020?
It was crazy because we'd have to be up at like 6 a.m. to go get a COVID test, or you might, like one day you might be with the twos and the next day, the starting center's out. So next, I'm learning everything, and I'm just a freshman too to add on top of it. So I'm still learning people's names from the ball across from me and all that stuff. So it was a crazy year. That year was pretty crazy. One game, our head coach got COVID. Then his dad came in and coached Don Carthel. It was a crazy year, but somehow we managed through it and we figured it out. And we played all games. We didn't miss any games that year.
And you all finished with the winning record, I believe. So, like, how were you all able to kind of work around all that chaos to have the success that you all had?
Just sticking together, really. Everybody wanted to win. It was that year was that head coach's second year, so he really was hard on just building from the year before that. Because the year before that, he went like 3-8 or something like that. So he really wanted to feel throughout the season and stuff like that, just having wins, just building wins, and just learning the plays. And it was a learning year for us, because the next following year, we should have beat Sam Houston that year. I have a teammate on UCO who I think he plays corner. Can't think of his name right now, but he went to Sam Houston every day. He's talking about, y'all want to beat us, whatever. But it's whatever.
Now, you also played, I believe, it was like 2 or 3 FBS teams in 2020. So, like, what was that experience like?
It was crazy, because just going into the stadiums, and it wasn't that many people there, but it was still loud. Like they automated those sounds in or whatever. So they still made the games loud. Like I remember when we went into Memphis, and it wasn't that many people there, but it was still loud, because that's where Young Dolph is from. And when we walked out the tunnel, they were playing Young Dolph, and everybody in there was just hype. I was all like, what is going on? I was like, what is going on? But yeah, playing at SMU, that was pretty cool also. It was UTEP. We should have been UTEP too, and I ain't gonna say all that, but UTEP was pretty cool also. But it was cool playing in those environments, I'd say.
And you mentioned lack of fans. Now, obviously coming from high school football in Texas, where stadiums is just packed every single Friday. What I mean that had to be weird, but like what was that kind of adjustment experience like going from packed houses to maybe 20-25% of a full stadium?
It was weird because it'd be like quiet, and we could hear like all the calls on the field sometimes, and we'll just be like, dang, we could really hear each other like out there, and like when coach would be like come straight to the side and be like, oh, this happened. I was like, hey, we can hear that. So like it was definitely weird. That was a weird time back then.
And then during that year, you also beat your current head coach Adam Dorrell in an overtime thriller. So, what do you remember about that game? And do you ever kind of bring that up to him? Like, hey, you remember that one time?
We haven't brought it up yet, but I know it's gonna come up because sometimes we'll be in the film room and we'll be going over plays and stuff, and he'll pop up an SFA player or whatever. You'll be like, oh, this guy gets upfield real fast. He'll be like, right, Kellen. And I'll be like, yeah. Yeah, he did. So I know it's going to come up sooner or later, but that game, it was crazy playing in Arlington and the Rangers' old stadium. There was a lot of people at that game, too. I was surprised how many people was at that game. And then that overtime win and seeing Coach Cartlow take his shirt off and wave it around his head. Have you seen that on ESPN and all that stuff? Seeing myself on ESPN, like, and you can see me in the very back corner and like standing there like, he really did that. Like, then seeing my old O-line coach, he came from ACU, so he was a little hyped too, low-key, all week. So, it came full circle with me and Coach Dorrell because my older brother, he played at Emporia State. So when Coach was at Northwest, I used to always go up to Missouri and watch the games, and he wanted to beat Northwest so bad. So I already know that's going to come up too. So I know sooner or later, me and Coach Dorrell were going to hit heads.
That you mentioned that you had a brother that played in the conference. So when you all played Pitt State, then I guess you weren't necessarily surprised by the level of talent that they had, but like were your other teammates kind of shocked maybe about the talent level that Pitt State had?
Oh, most definitely, because you saw the score was kind of close. Like they really could have beat us if they had maybe a couple more guys on that team or a couple more plays went their way. They most probably would have beat us. I'm not even gonna lie, because this league is probably the SEC at D2, and there's a lot of talent in this league, and people can play at the D1 level in this league. So I knew. I told them all week, I was like, Pitt State, they gonna come in and really play with us. We need to take these guys for real. Like, ain't no D2 team. Like, these guys are coming to win. So yeah, it was like then during I think the third quarter we went into halftime. We went into the locker room. Our coaches they shouldn't be in the game with us, whatever. And I'm sitting there, I'm all like, yeah. I told y'all, like, this is gonna happen. Just in there, like, even whenever I went up and visited there or whatever, my teammates were like, oh, those are the gorillas. I remember them. So yeah, I mean, MIAA nothing to play with. So
and then 2021, there was full stadiums again. So what was that first game with a full crowd? What was that I guess experience and that atmosphere like?
I'm gonna be honest. The SFA game, our first game, it wasn't that many. It was people at the SFA game, but our crowds weren't that loud. I don't know if you've seen the SFA stadium or anything, but it's not that loud down there. But what it really hit me is when we played at Texas Tech that next game, and we walking out the tunnel. I'm like, okay, it's Texas Tech. Like, I don't know what to expect. So we walking out the tunnel, and they have this thing where they throw the tortillas at the team whenever they come out. And I'm walking out, and next thing you know, a tortilla hit me right in the face. I'm like, bro, what? So that's when he hit me. I was all like, oh, okay. Well, this is how it's supposed to be. So yeah, that's what really shocked me whenever we played them. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's kind of crazy now.
So at what point then did you decide that you wanted to possibly transfer and go play football somewhere else?
It was whenever my Coach Young left, because I lost my guy really. So we were learning new things and just wasn't the right time down there. And I was looking to play more because I was really just a guy who was sitting on the bench whenever we come in and finish games off whenever we were beating some team too much or whatever. And I just come in and take the starter out because he's been there for 5 years plus the COVID year or whatever. So I was looking for more of an opportunity to come in and play and maybe play guard or whatever. So yeah, that was the reason I left.
And when you enter the portal, because it gets tossed around a lot, like it's this big, scary, like deep end of the swimming pool type of thing. But what was your experience in the portal like?
It was crazy, to be honest. It was like one moment I'm just on the team, and the next day, I think my first call, it was one coach who called me. Then next thing you know, I'm getting 5 calls at a time. Then the next day, I'm getting 10 calls at a time. I'm like, dang, like, what was this love when I was in high school? Like, but yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy experience for me. Center's a much needed position anywhere. So I understood why, because I'm a center and I know how to snap the ball and I got a good feel for the game. So, it's a crazy process, I'd say.
Did it ever get to a point where it became overwhelming to you?
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause I'll be in class and I'm getting calls, or getting text messages on Twitter. So one thing I did, I let my dad run my Twitter for a couple of days. So I let him just answer the calls because it was during finals week when it was hitting. So I'm over here trying to study, but I'm also getting calls from like Coach Dora. I'm all like, oh, this is an important call. I gotta take this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over here trying to do a project was due the next day, and I'm over here worried about, I can't miss a call either. So I let my dad run my Twitter for like 3 days at least. I say, and I just check in on it and look at like what he's saying. I'll be like, bro, why did you say that?
But it was that bad.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Now, when you were looking at the schools at your next school, what, like, did you have a list of like must-haves that you wanted out of whatever school you decided to go to?
It was just really my degree plan. I'm a kinesiology major right now, but the plan is to be a physical therapist. So that's what I was really focused on, and where I could graduate the quickest and get my master's and get into a good PT program, but still also play football and develop my game the best I can be.
That sounds like a fairly challenging major there. So like, because that now I asked your teammate Marlo Hughes this, because I think he's like a nursing major. So
Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of manage that balance of the school workload within your football workload?
It's just having really just your day planned out every day, really. I got to go to class from this time to this time, but I also know this opponent's coming up. Northwest is coming up, and we play them on Saturday, whatever day. So I got to learn what this D tackles does and what's the best he does while still getting the game plan in, but knowing I got a quiz due on Thursday also. So this time management is a big thing. Just understanding what you need to do and when you need to do it.
And so at some point during the recruiting process, UCO obviously it's stuck out. So what was it about UCO that made you decide that that's where you wanted to continue your college career?
Right. Really, Coach Dora. Coach Dora really sold me on the program. Location was a big thing too. Coming from Nacogdoches in the middle of nowhere to, Edmond, I'm 15 minutes from OKC. So it's like, they can't really beat that. So, but really Coach Dora, though, really sold me on the program, being a champion in this league, and he knows what he's doing. I've been around him really my whole college career, really starting from whenever I was 12. So really him, Coach Doral, and him being my position coach also really played a big factor.
Now, I've asked Lane Grantham this when he came on, because I've only talked to Coach a few times. He seems like a pretty intense guy. So, what is it like learning under him, not only as your head coach but as your position coach?
So far, for the month I've been with him and being in the film room, I haven't got to be on the field with him yet. But just being in the film room, he does go fast. I'm not even gonna lie. He does go a little fast. Like, you really got to pay attention and make sure you write your stuff down and understand what he's saying. But he cares. He really does care. Because like this morning we were going over pass techniques and how to different pass sets we can use in our toolbox. That's what he calls it, a toolbox. So just using that, and he really wants to see us succeed.
I lost my question. Okay, that now. So you've only been here for a month. So, like, when trying to like meet the guys and form bonds, was it a relatively smooth transition for you? Like, did they welcome you with open arms? Was it like how is that process going?
Oh yeah, it was really cool because Noah, I think you interviewed him yesterday. He was my visit dude. He had me on my visit. So I already knew Noah, then Trail. It was a bunch of guys who already knew of me. And so just coming in, they already knew my name and just knew who I was and was happy to see me that I came. And they were excited. Then just seeing the guys lifting, and they really want to win. Like, they're really trying to turn this around. That made me want to really fight for them also and be out there with them.
And from a schematic standpoint now, because I used to in the past has been a spread, I was switching to a pro style. Is the blocking scheme, is it drastically different than what you've been doing the past couple of years, or are there some similarities to it?
There's a lot of similarities to it. There's some things I could pull from the other schools I've been at and just bring it here, and just understanding what we want to do and how we do it, and just using our terminology now is what I'm trying to get used to, and just adding it to my toolbox.
Now, you are joining a unit that received a fair amount of criticism last season for the offensive woes. Now, I don't know if any of the guys have shared that with you, but like so far, just in your time, do you feel like your unit, the offensive line unit, is in store for a pretty good season?
Oh, yes, for sure. Because the way we've been working and just doing our individuals, I could tell like Lane really wants us to be successful, and just Noah really's been working hard. Trail's been working hard. We all been working hard to be one of the leading groups in the MIAA, and we all sent our goals to our group chat and just having a plan what we want to do this year. Because I've heard some things from last year and having the criticism that they did, and they really want to change that from what it was.
And earlier you mentioned forming that bond with Steph. There's also other keepers on the roster. I think there's Peyton Thompson, there's JD Geneva, Caleb Allen, and Cooper Wilcox. So like how has that process gone, kind of getting to know all those guys? So then when game time comes, you have that relationship.
Oh, it's been a blast, really, just being out there with them during OTAs and learning what they like and what they do, just hanging out with them on the weekends also, just laughing at them all the time, and we just be kicking it, really.
and what are your goals for the upcoming season?
I want us to lead the MIAA in rushing yards, really. I feel like that's a big thing that we need to do. I want to be one of the at least top 15 offenses in D2. That's one of my goals for the team. I sent into the group chat and all that stuff. But those two I really want to be honed in on, because if we open the running lanes up, then the passing lanes are going to run up, and it's going to make it easier on Step. Running that
what do you feel like you need to work on the most heading into fall camp?
Really just communicating. Working on communicating, everybody being on the same page, being the center, everybody, that's getting everybody on the same page and just learning all the calls, the basics of it all.
And for those that maybe haven't seen you play, you've only been for a month, waiting for the spring. So those that haven't seen you play, what can they expect to see out of you as a player?
This a physical guy who's gonna play until the whistle blows. Really, I'm a physical guy. I play quick. I love my teammates, so I'm gonna do anything for them so we can win. Really, so that's what you can expect from me.
Let's see. Well, before I get you out of here, we do this with all the new guests and get to know you type questions. So your favorite sports team?
Probably the Cowboys. I'm gonna ride and die with the Cowboys. I ain't gonna. hey, somebody can fight me with them Cowboys. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right now, I don't know. Are you aware that Lane is the Eagles fan?
See, we haven't talked about that yet. We haven't talked about that. I seen that on the podcast, though. I did see that. You did remind me. Thanks for reminding me. Me and his locker are right next to each other, and I will bring it up to him.
And now, is this the year that Dallas finally wins a playoff game?
Yes, we're going to the Super Bowl this year. I don't know what type of question that was, but we're going to the Super Bowl this year. So. And we're winning it.
I'm just saying, as somebody that I would say is more of a casual Cowboy fan, it was disappointing last year to have that great regular season, and then just the crap out. The Jimmy Garoppolo was not, the best confidence booster, and then lost some guys in free agency. So I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
It was tough for me. Other than being a UCO fan, I'm a Michigan fan too. So it was a double whammy for me. I was depressed all December.
Wait a minute. So now how does a Texas kid become a Michigan Wolverine fan here?
Hey, I don't know. You see how it worked out though. UCO colors are really close to Michigan colors. So hey, it worked out for me somehow.
Well, now, I mean, you guys did. You finally beat Ohio State. You dominated the Big Ten championship. I mean, it was still a good year, though. Everybody kind of wrote you off as, you'll never get past Ohio State, and then, you guys do it. So,
Yeah. They lost me some money, though. I'm not even going
to. I will say that. I don't know why you bet it. You benefited to beat Georgia. That was wishful thinking.
I was very confident. Yeah, I can say
that. Right now, so do you think there's a chance that they can repeat as Big Ten champs? Because losses were pretty significant there on defense, and I think was the running back gone too. So you think they have enough to repeat?
They better beat Ohio State because me and Noah have been talking. That's his favorite team. So I got another bet. I got to make some money because
I can't lose. This is great. So many rivalries, that offensive line group.
Yep. Come for everybody.
See, okay. Is it your favorite hobby outside of football?
My favorite hobby outside of football, it can't be sleep. Let me think. See, I'm always busy. See, if I'm not doing something, if I'm not at football, I'm always studying or I'm always working. Down at Stephen F, I had 4 jobs. So I was always moving around doing something.
Wait. You had 4 jobs?
Yeah, man. I had to make some money.
Like, when did you sleep?
Managing time, like I said earlier, I worked in the student center. I did a lot of stuff. I worked in the student center, setting up tables if they had events or something like that. I'd do that. I worked intramural sports, so I was a referee. Oh man, I might be in trouble too because Oklahoma State, they came down to Nacogdoches. I refereed one of their girls' games. They might be mad at me. They might actually come down here and look for me in Edmond, thinking about it. I might have to be on the run. Well, yeah, I blew one of their games whenever I was reffing, so they might be angry at me. So, but yeah, that was pretty fun reffing. Then I did all our athletic events, so I'm trying to do that here, doing like the tickets and running the scoreboards and all that stuff. I did that for us down there at SFA. Then I was a bouncer on the weekends. So yeah, I just kept always busy doing something.
Yeah, I would have to ask that. Is there like a funny story of your time working as a bouncer?
Too many of them. To be honest with you. Yeah, it's too many of them. Me and one of my teammates did it. Yeah, we'd just be out there laughing at people because, you know, being an athlete, we didn't really participate in those activities on the weekends. So we just sit there and just look at them and just laugh and just watching them how they interacted with other people. Yeah, it was some funny times for sure.
That's good. And then as a ref, now did you have to go through training, or did they just like hand you a whistle and say have at it?
Oh, it was like a 2-week training. I swear I don't know how to pass that test. I used to go straight to the cafeteria after the games. It'll be like on a Wednesday night, and they'll be like, "That's the ref right there who blew the game." You try to get my food and just get out. They'd be like, "Oh, you stole money." So, yeah, it was some funny times, man. I just like to have a good time, man. I just like to have a good time.
Oh man, well, Kellen Culberson, the hardest working center in America.
Yeah.
See, okay. Now I know you just said that you don't have much free time, but do you game at all?
No, I stopped playing. Well, maybe when I'll play Madden every once in a while. I'll take that back. I'll get bad at Madden sometimes. See that TV right behind me? Yeah, me and my roommate be on that TV sometimes. He be getting me mad on that Madden.
Now I have to ask now: is the system a choice? Is it Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation for sure. PlayStation. I wanted the Xbox at first whenever I was a kid, but my parents didn't give me an Xbox, and I opened the Christmas present. It was a PlayStation. I was mad as all get out, but it grew on me after a while. So
that was this like the PlayStation 3?
That was a PlayStation 3.
See, because most went like me, it was PS2, 360, and then most went PS4 after that. Now I went Xbox One after that, and then instantly regretted it. So now I mainly just play the PS3 and a 360. But I think the only two Xbox guys I've been told of is Coach Curley and Coach Doral. I think everybody else is a PlayStation guy.
Hey, Coach Doral really be on that game. I think that's hilarious to me. I was all like, I think it was like my first or third day out here. I was all like, they were all like, Coach Doral, you gonna be on the game today? I was all like, what? Yeah, he was like, yeah, I stream. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. So tune on.
Wait, he streams? I didn't know he streamed.
I was like, okay, I guess he'd be streaming him and Coach Donald.
See, I know Coach Donald streams. I didn't know. That's fantastic.
I was like, hey, all right. Yeah.
Have you watched any of his streams?
No, I haven't got to watch none. I ain't get to watch none.
That's great. That's fantastic. See, okay, now, your favorite food.
Shoot, my favorite food. Does ice cream count or no?
Yeah, it can, because Coach Lechtenberg said ice cream was his. So,
I mean, yeah, mint ice cream. I'm a mint ice cream guy. I'm a big mint ice cream guy. Chocolate ice cream, yeah, whatever.
Okay. Let's see. Now I know you're from Texas. Now I've asked you this. I asked Coach McGuire this. I asked Coach Donald this. Now, because the rap scene in Texas is pretty darn big. So I have to ask, like, were you into like the DJ Screws, the Paul Walls, Trader Truth? Were you kind of into those guys?
Yes, I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I have been. Yes.
Oh.
If you're not listening to them, you're not from Texas for real.
Now, see, this is great, because I always say I've gotten into Texas rap big the past 2 years, and when I try to talk about it here, like, nobody knows who I'm talking about. So it was a very lonely experience. So now I'm like, all right, there's like 4 Texans I know of, at least on that roster now, that understands the quality of Texas rap. So okay, good.
Right. Every time a new album comes out, I gotta listen to the chopped and screw version of it.
Okay, now do you have a favorite Texas artist?
I would say Mo 3. Mo 3 probably my favorite. Okay. I listen to a lot of Mo 3.
And you have a favorite song by him?
Probably Outside, or hey, what's that song called? Let me look real quick. Let me look to see what the song is. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I gotta say, I might put somebody on out there. Let me see. Mo 3. Oh, long time coming from our Mo 3. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what I have been told from Noah yesterday, now the ox court in the locker room is a very brutal position to be in, because I was told if they're not feeling it, they will literally just take the cord out of your phone. Now, knowing this, are you prepared when it is your opportunity at the Ox to make sure that doesn't happen to you?
I don't know if I want to get on the Ox. I might just keep my earphones in and keep it to myself. So I seen it. Like, Noah is not lying. I was going to get me a snack like probably 2 weeks ago, and they said, "Whose phone is this?" And no one wanted to say whose phone it was. I was just sitting there. I was like, dang, I feel bad for whoever phone that is. I said, you know what? Just take it off. And they took it off. Just took their phone down. I was like, oh, wow. Yeah, somebody was scared to get their phone from up there.
Yeah, because Noah told me, like, you don't want to just go up there and get it. You got to, like, either wait until everybody's gone, or, like, try to, like non-suspiciously go up there and get the phone.
Right. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest on this podcast. I tried it once. I did it once. Okay. Maybe once I went up there and put my phone on there and someone took it off. I was like, man, they must not been rocking with that Mo 3.
Now, what I was told is that, according to Noah, that the best on the Ox is either Steph or Michael Slater, and the worst would be Jace Gardner. Now, you've only been there for a month, so I know you have a small sample size, but is that somewhat of an accurate statement?
The last 2 days, Steph's been on the Ox. He's been pretty good. He's been playing some slow jams also. He's been playing some old school too. So I can say Steph's been pretty good on the Ox the last couple of days. He's been dancing a lot too, so he's been feeling it himself.
That kind of surprised me, because, like, I didn't meet him until after the season opener last year. Now, he's looking at a guy, he's like 6'5", like 230, and I'm like, all right, this guy probably is like just no nonsense. And you meet this dude, and I'm like, bro, you are the most chill 6'5", 230 dude I have met in my life.
Right.
Like him and Dante are two of the most laid back guys.
Right. Yeah.
Like, let's see. Okay. Now, in terms of gear, are you a guy that has to have a lot of gear like Jonathan Mosley, or are you kind of just to give me the helmet, the shoulder pads, knee pads, and let me go to work?
He trying to expose me on here. I can say I'm kind of high maintenance a little bit. You know, he trying to expose me a little bit on here. I'm more of a speed flex guy or a speed, Rydell helmet guy with a visor. I always wear a visor and some gloves and an arm sleeve. But yeah, I mean, you got to wear the knee braces. I'm an offensive lineman, so you see him right there. You got to wear the knee braces. But I mean,
now is the arm sleeve on the snapping arm?
Yes.
Okay. So it's like your version of a shooter sleeve.
Right. Exactly. It keeps the sweat off my hands. That's the purpose of it.
Now I know Noah told me that he might experiment going no glove. Now I asked him, that's kind of a huge risk there. You're going bareheaded at an offensive lineman. Now, I don't know. Now, have you ever gone gloveless before, or were you just like, I'm not going to even pretend to take that chance. I'm going to just wear my gloves?
My first year playing, my first maybe spring, I played center. I didn't wear gloves. And I didn't like how my hands were feeling. So I was like, I need my gloves. So all summer, I was practicing with them gloves, snapping the ball. I was going to wear my gloves. I was going to make sure of it. I wasn't going out there with no gloves ever again.
Let's see. Okay. Do you have any pregame routines that you normally do?
Normally, I really go to sleep early the night before, probably around 8, 9. Make sure I get my sleep in. But being here, this gonna be a whole new thing for me. So I haven't really gotten anything yet. It might be something. I wear 2 pairs of socks. I bring 2 pairs of socks for sure every game day. I think that's probably my ritual. I have to have 2 pairs of socks.
Okay. And I've also asked this to everybody ever since Jake's game on, and he kind of he answered the question and then circled back on the question. So, is it old Lil Wayne or new Lil Wayne?
Old Lil Wayne. Old Lil Wayne for sure.
See, now he came with that definitive answer, but then he tried to backtrack and almost like equate new Lil Wayne on a similar level. So I don't know, So I just found that odd now. And I've been told by, I think it was Coach Curley and maybe Coach Darwin, there's going to be a little like intervention with Jace here about that, because they're kind of wanting to know, how are you even trying to pretend that new Lil Wayne is better than the old Lil Wayne? So I've just been asking that question to see if it's been a consensus, and so far I think he's the only one to even pretend like new Lil Wayne is close to the old one. So I don't know.
Old Lil Wayne got too many hits, man. Too many hits out there.
True, because because his mixtapes in like the 2010s, stuff was legendary.
Right. You can't compete with that. I'm gonna be 60 banging that. So
let's see. I guess my final question for you now. Yeah, I know you've only been there for a month, but do you have a message for those that might be on the fence about coming to give you all a shot this season, about what they could expect to see from you all if they came to watch you play?
I just tell everybody that we're gonna have some high quality coming out on the field. What I've been told for the last month. A lot of people go to the Oklahoma State games and think that we can't compete with what they are. They are bigger, faster, strong, whatever. But we're gonna still have some high quality players out there, and we can show y'all what we can do also.
Yeah, well, Kellen, I appreciate you taking time this afternoon to come on and talk to me. I'm wishing you the best of luck the rest of summer into the fall, and If you ever want to come back on, you're more than welcome to.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
No problem. Thank you, Kellen.
All right. Thank you.